Well, hello, good evening, and welcome to just me. Just me. I thought I'd have a go at resurrecting the midlife models live chat on the back of what we do on a Saturday night. So, by all means, if you're in the chat, please give us a shout out. So I feel that I'm not talking to myself. That would be great. We've had quite a success with this live chat. My thanks to obviously Martin, Luke, Laz, and Michael that jumps in now and again to help us out. We've been through various incarnations of software to get this thing working. And there's Mick. Thank you, Mick. Good to see you, buddy. I don't know what the delay is like, so apologies if I don't get back to you straight away. Good evening, Ian. Evening, Paul. It's just you. It's just me and you. Then it's me, you, and Mick. Ian. There's three of us. Well, I count my bottle of scotch as four. There you go. So, thanks, guys. Here's Kev as well. Mick, Kev, and Ian. Good evening. Pleasure, chaps. Always a pleasure. We've got we've got a few of the irregulars joining us. So that's the result. I'm just waffling for a few minutes to see if anybody else jumps on board. I think Luke said he was gonna. There he is now. Talk of the devil. Hi, Luke. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, mate. We're gonna be playing a bit of from my point of view. We're gonna be playing a bit of catch up of what I've been doing in the background. That I don't normally show on screen. There's a lot of admin goes into running the DMC, and my channel doesn't get a lot of love just lately. So I thought we'd do a bit of a catch up as to where I am. I'm going to be doing. He's going to like this. I'm going to be doing an Ian Ollie special the next time I do this, which probably, I don't know, this time in a fortnight's time. We'll try and make it a regular thing, but I'm going to be showing a lot of the material that Ian sent to me. He's been a great source of been a great source of sending material to me. He knows I'm an avid collector of Jerry Anderson and stuff. He's been sending a load of stuff to me, so we'll do that in a fortnight's time. Ian, my very good friend, Laz, has joined us as well. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. A few of the boys on there, so we'll crack on. You can see I've got a bit of a presentation thing going on. It's only a few slides of what's been going on. So, without further ado, welcome everybody. Welcome to Midlife Models Live Chat. It's we're just shooting the breeze, nothing cast in stone. I've got a few bits and bobs I want to get through. So the first thing is the Alzheimer's Society. Just a reminder, we have raised £373 this year, the most we've ever raised in the 4 years that we've ever been doing this. It's just blown it out of the water this year. I can't thank people enough for their generosity and taking part in the event. Nobody gets anything out of it other than having a photo stuck on YouTube of the work they've been doing. And there's some cracking material that they've supplied as well to make our gallery up monthly. So as I say, £373. We'll be doing it again next year. I don't want to set it any above. I think we set it at £200. We've blasted that, so it'll be the same again next year. So that was that. Thank you, everybody. A picture of the lads, or some of the lads. We went to Stafford, the Toy Collectors Fair, and met up with Lee from Diecast Fixer Uppers, Luke from Diecast Outlaws, as it was at the time. Andy Bourne was there, and Martin was there. Now, before we go any further, if you haven't already, please resubscribe to Diecast Rival, RIVAL. You'll see Luke has got that as his moniker in the chat for reasons that we won't go into. Luke's had to rename his channel, start from scratch, so we're doing everything we can to boost his subscribers and let everybody know that he's now under a new banner. So that would be great if you could do that. So yeah, we met up at Stafford. We had a great day. It seems like we get to the point where we're looking towards the end of the event, so we can have our get together in the car park where we start swapping parts, pieces, gifts, donations, and everybody comes away having a thoroughly good time. So that was Stafford. They were just a few of the pieces that I picked up from Stafford. And Martin donated a few bits. Andy Bourne did. Luke did. Lee did. A couple of Capris in there, which I'm chuffed a bits with, and a Thunderbird 2 that Andy Bourne didn't think worked, and it was a this front nose cone on the Thunderbird 2. I'm pointing at it with my fingers like everybody can see me. What an idiot! The glass section at the front is a torch, so you might just be able to make out there's a button on the back of the TB2, and you press it down, the front lights up. So I put a battery in, and lo and behold, after I cleaned up the terminals, it worked. So well chuffed. You're welcome, Luke. You're welcome, Luke. Ian says already resubs to Luke's channel. As I guess, as most of the people on here, we have been bantering it about a bit in the DMC chat. So yeah, they were a few bits. I did like the fact that I picked up this larger than life milk float or Coca-Cola lorry. I've got the very small version of this, and this one's got the back axle missing, but nothing that we can't source parts for. So a nice few bits and bobs there. I think the more that we go to these collectors fairs, the more we're looking for specifics rather than just grabbing a bunch of stuff. And half the time it's just to go there, meet up with the lads, enjoy the company, shoot the breeze as we're doing here. It's great fun. Then we went to a place called Dagfields, Crafts and Antiques, not long ago. Thanks, Luke. Some nice models. Yeah. Turn this into the Luke show, really. Luke pointed this out to me, or gave me the idea of going to this, invited me to go to this Crafts and Antiques fair at Dagfields near Nantwich. And what it is, you may not be able to make it out. I don't know how big it's appearing on screen. Let me see if I can. There we go. That might be a bit better. There are 39 individual shops, store holders on site, and they range from anything from record collections, record stores. There's a model railway store there, a bookstore. You could spend days in there, just in the bookstore. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I could spend days just in the bookstore, which was fantastic. It was like going back in time. And I'll show you a couple of pieces that I picked up from there. So that was Dagfields. There's a couple of, I did take a couple of, I've grabbed a couple of website photos. So Welcome to Cavern Books was the bookstore that we went into. And this bookstore just seemed to have room after room after room after room to the left, and then to the right you go into a place where there's jigsaws, maps, and albums and stuff like that. Trident Trains was the model railway shop I was on about, and these are pretty much, well, they're almost opposite each other as you go into this one large building, and there's like little shops inside the large building. So we went in there. 3D printing. We'll come to that in a moment. So what I did get from Dagfields, just stretched down. It wasn't all about, for me, it wasn't all about collecting diecast. I think we all came back with something a little different than what we'd intended to go for. So from the bookstore, I managed to get Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, which was a TV series that I used to love. Owen Allen used to love watching this as a kid. All about the adventures of an underwater futuristic submarine, a bit like an earlier version of Sequest DSV. Used to love that. In the auction store, I picked up a atlas of the Second World War. Me and Martin have got a vested interest in World War II, so much so that we're hoping that next year we're going to plan a trip to go on a World War II tour of Holland. I'd love to go and visit my granddad's grave. That's why we're going to do that. There's an album shop there, Vinyl Records. I love my rock music, so I managed to pick up an April Wine album and a Whitesnake album. It's got nothing to do with Diecast, obviously. And I was I was hoping to pick up a very special box set that my mum and dad brought me when I was 21, and it was the Buddy Holly story on vinyl, and there's 5 vinyl albums in it. However, it wasn't there. But lo and behold, I came home, and the next day I did a search on Facebook, and somebody was selling it for £3, about 20 miles from where I live. And there it is. It's one of the pride of my collection of vinyl. It's in immaculate condition. It's even got the just grab this, the storybook inside it with all the pictures, and there's even, and I've dropped it on the floor, cats and dogs all over the place. You'll have to believe me that there is a warranty. There's even a warranty inside it. Dropped it. So yeah, collected loads of stuff, and a few diecast bits and bobs. But as Luke pointed out when we went, there didn't seem to be as many diecasts there as the last time we went, which was about 3-4 months previous. But it was a blistering day, great company, good fun, fantastic day out. It is, lad. It brought the old Bloody Holly thing brought a lump to my throat because I gave away all my vinyl, all my turntables, cassettes, CD players, the whole lot, and I've started from scratch, and now everything is double the price of what it was when I brought it as a kid. So there you go. I did pick up a few. I did get a few vinyl bits. I'm not sure Lee's in the chat, but Lee gave me a NGBGT, a new Matchbox version. He knows I like the MGs, so there was that. He also gave me this. Fortunately, I say fortunately, if you've watched Martin's video today, Lee, bless him, gave Martin this fantastic transport lorry. Thank the Lord he didn't give that to me. I'd have no room to put it. And I don't mean that in a disgratiating point, but it was massive. It's a massive thing. But this Rolls Royce he gave to me, which is beautiful. That's going to go on the shelf. And then there was a few bits that were. There was a box, and it was like 5 scrappers for £5 or 6 scrappers for £5. And I picked up this little Tonka truck for a reason. I know it's the mixer, but I picked it up for a specific reason, which I'll tell you about momentarily. I've also picked up a mini. We've got a mini challenge. Oh no, we did the mini. I picked it up and we did it last year. I've just thought about it. So yeah, I picked up a mini. A little. Sorry, got the wrong glasses on. Jaguar little Jag, but it's got its windscreen missing, nothing that can't be replaced. I think I've done one of them before. BP petrol tanker. Little Matchbox tipper truck, all in working condition. Got that. And then finally, because if I haven't got enough of these, I picked up another one because it was the only thing that was left, which was another crane. And what I'm thinking about doing is now I'm going to do it in the style of a green goddess for the Any Forces vehicle DMC challenge we've got coming up. I've got some of these. I've 3D printed some of these UCs, so if anybody wants one, let me know. But I'm going to do it to the style of the Green Goddess, which is the fire engine for the services, but I'm going to do it for a crane. So that'll be that. Ian's just said the Rolls Royce is a Silver Spirit. I think you probably. I'm not going to even doubt you, Ian. It says on it, Camargue, Rolls Royce Camargue, Barago, scale 122. I if you can make that out. So it's the writing's a bit blurred, but very nice, very nice. So we picked up a few bits. It wasn't a complete no diecast zone. So yeah, that's what's been going on with visits. Looking forward to now that I've got the house in order. It was great to have a visit from Martin. It's not the first person that's been over. Lee and Jackie have been over as well. It's going to be an open house, I think, coming forward. It's going to be the DMC headquarters stopover for the night building. So anybody's welcome that wants to come over and visit. It was great. We had a great time. We did a bit of bringing Martin into the world of 3D printing, and he was a lot less reluctant than I thought. So we'll go through now what he asked me to do. So I was looking, as Martin mentioned in his video, I was looking for a specific toy for him, and it was like a little lorry version of this, or it might have even been the like a tipper truck, but we turned the house upside down and I can't find it anywhere. So lo and behold, as with the other boys, we gave Martin a load of Luke says I'm on my way. You're more than welcome, my friend. You're more than welcome. Lost my train now, completely blown me out of the water. Yeah, so I gave Martin a load of stuff, but I picked this up as a pattern. And the idea was we was going to look to see if we could find a skip that would fit one that Martin had got. Well, we failed miserably on printing this 3D version of a skip. I had 3 attempts at it, failed miserably, and then I thought, what I'll do. We didn't even have a scale to work to. So today, I did it again and scaled it down so that it fits. It fits inside the truck. But as you can see, this is the first one that I did, and the bottom fell out and the print was crap on the side. So that's a skip going in the skip. And then I moved the skips on the build plate of the printer and printed 2 at a time. And this one came out with a curved corner. And then finally, I got a complete one. So I don't know why it wouldn't. Those 2 printed at the same time. One printed with a dodgy corner, the other one printed fine. So there you go, Luke. I've got no idea why it was that it failed to print, other than the fact I moved them around on the build plate. So that's that. Now, moving along, 3D printing. So I brought a 3D printer on the back of being gifted the. So on screen you can see the Anycubic printer, which is the one with the that looks like a grey bluish lid with the model inside it. And then the yellow version is the wash and cure. So basically you print in the blue one. Once you've printed it, you take it out, you put it in the yellow one, and you wash away any surplus resin and switch it over to cure mode, which hardens the resin. So I had, as with the generosity, I can't speak highly enough. I'll keep saying this: the generosity of the group. Luke had got a spare wash and curer. Gifted it to me, and I went and I purchased the printer. And now there's at least 4 of us that I know of: myself, Luke, Michael in Australia, and PB from Pete from PB Restorations have all got the same model. So the idea was we was going to print off spare parts for vehicles or whatever we could find. Yeah, that didn't last long. That didn't last long because once I found out what it could do, then I went down my own little journey. So the skip, yeah, that was fine. That was a great little exercise to try and help Martin out. But apart from I've got 3 kind of loves outside of Diecast, which is Jerry Anderson stuff, although it includes Diecast, Batman stuff, mainly Batmobiles, and creature feature movies, mainly the ones not made by Ray Harryhausen, but he was heavily involved in the creature side, creature creation, stop motion stuff. And I started to find patterns that I could do on the 3D printer. So the first one I did was the skeleton from Jason and the Argonauts. These are called the Children of Hydra. And on a website called Thingiverse, lo and behold, I found this pattern. And then I thought, well, that's great. It printed off in grey. I want to paint it. So I've been learning or relearning how to paint figures using mainly Citadel paints. So I did the mini version, and then it just got out of hand really, because now I've done a larger version that's on a plate. He's got his own stand, so you can see this is slightly bigger. And not only did I do one, I did 2, 3, and unfortunately I had an accident and this guy's arms fell off, but I'm going to call him battle worn, and he's going into battle just with his shield, unfortunately for him. If it wasn't bad enough being dead, he's only got one arm, and he's dead and one arm, which is a bit sad for him, but he's not going to get any better. Then I did, if you're a fan of video games, there's a game called Fallout 4. I've watched the TV series, love the series, love the game, and there's a little character called Pip Boy, or Vault Boy, call him what you will. And there he is. I've done a smaller version, but my daughter came over and nabbed it before the paint was dry. So she's got that. So I printed off a bigger version. That's been primed in just bog standard iCoat white primer, and I'll be finishing that off at some point. Then we've moved on to doing Swamp Thing from the old. I can't remember if it was black and white now. I think it was black and white, but yeah, I've done Swamp Thing. So we're going down this creature feature route, you see. We've also done a large scorpion from Clash of the Titans. A lot of these are still waiting painting. Pegasus, again from Clash of the Titans. This is in both versions of the movie as well. We've got a harpy from Jason and the Argonauts. And these are ranging from, to do one of these prints, it can range from anything from 5 hours to 3 to 5 hours. But worth it when it works. It's, as Luke will tell you, when you get 2/3 of the way through and it fails, then you can lose the will to live. It's really upsetting when they fail. And then one of my favourite ones is Medusa, and I just managed to paint the bottom off, so there's some copper and gold on the scales and shading. And one of the best things is if you go onto YouTube, as we all do multiple times, you can the Citadel site has been going for, I think it was 12 years, and there's some great tutorials, so you can learn how to paint skin colours and tones and scales and armour and dry brushing and wet painting and all this kind of stuff. And I've been following some of these tutorials, hence I did that. One of the terms is called wet blending, and I did Godzilla, and then I wet blended the colours of him charging up with various shades of blue and white and greys. So that came out nicely. 3 to go. Kelly from Kelly's Heroes, Clint Eastwood. There is a set of 4L5, so you can get Oddball. You can get the Telly Savalas figure as well. There's about 4 or 5 of them, and I shall work my way through if I buy a bigger house. And as Martin was saying on his video, I was able to supply him with the Black Knight. Now Martin is going to put magnets in us, which is great, but I think I might have mine standing up. So what I did was I got a 4mm burr. It comes with some predefined holes, but I blew the holes up and got some plastic rod off Amazon, glued them into the holes and expanded the legs, etc. So now you can have him with the legs on. If I do that, it's all going to fall. It's all going to fall apart on me because. There he is all together for now. I'm going to put him down because I can feel him falling apart. And you get a plinth, and the plinth says "'Tis but a scratch." And then finally, what I've been working on today, which I'm really pleased with, is Thing from the Addams family. So what I like about the Citadel paints is the range of flesh colours that they've got. There's several shades of highlights in there on the knuckle joints, around the fingernails. Then obviously the stitching. It still needs some work on the vein. I've got a smaller version that I practiced on, which is around here somewhere. But yeah, I'm really pleased with this one, and I've got one printed in the background, but I'm not going to tell you what it was. It is until it's printed successfully, because I know what luck I've had with these bloody skips. So there you go. That's what I've been up to in the background. This is also caused me. I wanted to. Seemed like I was forced into something. Collect a lot of Citadel paints. So that is the. I think that when I last counted, there's 66 paints that I've collected over the last 3 weeks from watching videos, and added a few Vallejo ones as well. Down the bottom, I've got some Tamiya paints, and some Revel aqua colours, and you can get some cheap paints from places like the Range. They do like a gift set of paints. But yeah, I've tried to get I did have a PLA printer working before, and it's on the resin printer is on a different level to the PLA printer. I've had a lot more success with the PLA printer thanks to the boys, with the help from the boys. So that's the result. So paints, 3D, cars, vehicles. There we go. I haven't done one of these for ages, and it's took next to no time to catch up. Any questions? Anybody? Any chat? That's looking good, PJ. Be lovely when it's done. Thank you, mate. It's not often you can say that about a decapitated hand, is it? But I know what you mean. Yeah, it looks fantastic. I mean, I'm enjoying it. It's just the relaxing side of things with the painting. Tammy paint cans are banned in Canada now. Yes, I wasn't too sure about that, lads. I did go and check on it, and it is true. It is. It's something's gone sadly wrong there, but I think it's to do with test sheets and the ingredients of the can. So yeah, health and safety gone nuts. I did see that somebody had mentioned that Google and YouTube had split company. I believe that's still not the case. I did check on that today. There was talk about it back in 2015, but I do believe that Google still hold still own YouTube. Unlucky. Yes. Too much tied together, causing too many people too many problems. Henrik, good evening, my friend. How are you? Welcome along to this live chat. We've just been going through what I've been doing. I'll rather than go through it all again, I'll basically show you. Lots of 3D stuff from when I was a kid. A lot of, as I said, creature feature models. All new set of paints. I'm living the dream. That's living the dream. Or should I say, not getting out much. That might be one way of putting it. But I know that there are other people in the chat who are as bad as I am. So there you go. It's a fantastic hobby to get into. So is the diecast, but again, that's why we called the DMC what we called it. It's the diecast and modelers community, not just a diecast community. So if, like I say, if anybody's got any questions on the DMC, stuff like that, by all means, shout out. We have got a little PayPal account going if you would like to contribute anything between £2 and £5 a month. It helps pay our license. Where is the governor? No, not tonight, mate. I'm a one-man band tonight. 37,500. It is a very well made. Okay, not sure. Yeah, it's we were on last night. So me, Martin and Luke were on last night, shooting the breeze. Done a bit of a live chat. We're trying to see what we can get out of this restream. See if it matches up to StreamYard. And at the moment, the feedback I got from the people that were watching, it was coming through clear. The volume was clear, the pictures were clear, which is a result. That's really all we wanted to do for half the price. But as I say, if anyone wants to, the likes of Luke and Laz are benefactors. And if you take part in our DMC events and you're a benefactor, you get a nice little blue shield. That's all we can offer. Put next to your name in the gallery. So we've got you can be a taverner and a benefactor, as some of the boys are. So my thanks to those help us out. Just over half an hour. So, any, as I say, any questions? By all means, shout out. Anything Diecast 3D. We've got people in the chat that can help answer problems as well. It's Google Translate. Okay. No worries, Henrik. No worries. If it's one particular model, I'm enjoying all of them, mate. I love doing these creature feature things. It's like living my boyhood again, childhood again, and it's surprising what sparks off an idea to go and try and find a specific pattern to print off. I mean, you could go down the Hollywood Dracula, Frankenstein, that kind of route. But I like the creature feature stuff. There's a few that I'd like to do, but they may take a few weeks to print off. One is from Jason and the Argonauts. It's a character called Talos, and he stands about, I don't know, 18 inches high, and you have to to get it to print on my printer. You have to reduce about 15 parts to fit together. And I said to some of the lads in the past, if I knew what I knew now, I wouldn't have had the PLA printer. I would have had a resin printer. And if I knew what I was going to print in the long run, I would have had the bigger version of the one that I've got now. But this is the learning curve. I rely on this resin printer now to do anything up to 9-inch figures. Bit of brave juice. Henrik, don't worry, my friend. Don't worry about translation. I can barely speak English, my friend. So those that can speak 2 languages, well, better person than I am. Except Laz, he's not a better person than I am. I'm joking. Ian, I will send you a check, PJ, next month. Thank you, my friend. It's always welcome. Laz, can you print a Captain America, a figure for your? Sorry, I just seen Eric post something up. Can you print a Captain America, a figure for your best friend, Laz? Now, you know what? I will do you a Captain America. Didn't you have a bust of Captain America, sort of head and shoulders? Or am I just imagining that? Don't know. I know that you've had a Captain America figure before. Luke is saying, where you get your STL files from, PJ? I get mine from Thingiverse. But Michael put us in touch with another site called, I'm sure it was Printables. So I went there. They were the ones that did the full body cast, the full body car kits, Luke, for free, Printables. But mainly, it's cost saving. So any STL site that does patterns for free. So you've got Thingiverse, you've got Cults, CULTS, you've got Printables. I can't think what the others were. Yegi is another one. YEGGI, Yegi. So that's it. There's 3 or 4 I use. Right. So, Henrik, isn't it difficult to learn 3D print? It looks complicated. If you've got some basic computer knowledge, opening files and saving things to a memory stick, that kind of thing, and using the net, that's the basics you need. I had done some 3D printing, but it was on a different version of the printer. So with the resin printer, you're almost learning from new. But I'm not kidding you. and recorded that was the first thing I printed straight out. It came straight out the box. I put a memory stick in with a file on it. So you've got a little USB stick. You plug it into the printer. The printer reads the file, and if it's happy, away it goes. And I printed that straight away. I didn't make any changes to any settings. I was well pleased. But we could. I'm happy to. I'm not going to speak for Luke, but I'm quite happy to do a tutorial. Probably with Luke's help, we could probably do it between us and Michael, if Michael's willing, to do some basic 3D printing and get you up and running. But I do. The only thing I will say is I do highly recommend that kit. The two that are on screen now. They're £159 for the printer. I have seen the printer, and Luke can either confirm this or not. I've seen that the washer and cure are going for £89. So, you're looking anywhere between 200 and 350 for the pair. And the question is, are you going to have them to make money back on them on your prints? I don't think you are, because you need to have what's called a print farm. So imagine not only those two, but having 5 lots of those two or 5 pairs, and you're printing models all the time, day in, day out, and then you're selling them. That's the only way you're going to make your money back. And then it's 300 times 5. So, 1,500 quid you've got to make back if you have a print farm that's printing off continually. Catch 22. How often you're going to use it? I'm not going to get any. This is just a hobbyist way of doing things. I love these creature feature things, and it's set me down. And instead of buying blanks, I can print them myself and paint them. It's almost like saying, well, I don't need to buy an Airfix kit anymore. I can bet my own Airfix kit and then paint it. So that's a way of saving money, I guess. If you wanted to look at it from that point of view. Luke and Michael are looking at wheels. Luke is saying, worth every penny to me. The things I can make for Diecast is endless. Yeah. Luke is doing some great design work on his, and so is Michael, where they're making the replacement tyres. But the resin that I was going to hold up a whiskey bottle, then no sense whatsoever. The basic 3D resin comes in a litre bottle, and it can be between £15 to £17. But if you want to do tyres for your Matchbox vehicles, the type of resin that you use is more expensive, as Luke and Michael have found out. But I think there's, like with everything, the more common this stuff becomes, the more reasonably priced it will become. When DVD players and video players came out, we were talking thousands, and now you come on Facebook, you can find 3D printers on Facebook already, because people are swapping from PLA to resin. So everything's coming down in price. Lost it. Okay. Moving home, lost all of them. Okay. No dandruff on Captain America with Head and Shoulders. Yes. Washing his hair is a bit of a problem, though. Right, I'll have to check them out later. Thanks, mate. Not a problem, mate. The moving company. Oh. Do you so what you're looking for, lads? Are you looking for a sort of a 9-inch figure, or just a Head and Shoulders type model? Let me know, mate, and I'll see what I can. I'll show you one that I have got, lads, and it was from a Marvel collection. a dust in here. I'm ashamed. Which was that one. It was a comic collection that started. Can't believe I've got look at the dust in here. That's another thing with diecast and model making. The amount of dust you create. Just going to unashamedly brush that down. There we go. So yeah, the Chris Evans. It is Chris Evans, isn't it? As Captain America in the Avengers. Really nice. I think he looks a bit silly with the hat on in the movies, but once he takes it off, it looks pretty cool. There's something about that hat I'm not quite sold on. But if you're looking for something like that, lads, I'll have a look to see if I can get something for you, mate. Here's Michael, just in time to talk about 3D printing. Yes, I had a few of these. All right, mate. I've got Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow. That's something else I'm nuts about, is Marvel and DC. I'm just never grown up, really. I sort of got to 10 years old and stayed there because everything was a wonder then. Everything was fantastic and all new things were coming out. Now it's just, we've talked about the quality of diecast nowadays compared to what we had as kids. It's nothing like. Just going to check on a. Not tonight, sweetie. I'm washing my. Yeah. So the quality's crap. Like this from Endgame. My goodness, even the governor's here. Look at it, they're all showing up now. Just about to say goodbye, and everybody shows up. Typical, isn't it? I don't know. What you like. So yeah, we're just talking about 3D printing, Michael, and have you? Well, I mean, I'll ask you, and Luke. I mean, Luke, I don't think you'd have to cut his right arm off before he'd let you have his printer. Do you think it's value for money, Michael? We do. Depends what you want it for, what you're going to do with it. You could set up a business, but then you've got to invest heavily in the equipment in the first place. Doing something like this, although these are only small ones. So there's our success, Mr. D. We've finally got a complete one. That's come out quite nicely eventually. I did them as a pair, but on this one, it was curled up at the edges, so I've got some. No, if I said it, you wouldn't believe me, so I will say it. Big boy plastic filler, and I'm going to use that. I've put that on the edges, so it just wants sanding. And when it's been, what's it done? Which one is it? This one. So when it's been sanded down and sprayed, you won't be able to notice the difference. And it fits within the size of the roller on the cement mixer, Mark. So I don't know if that's the kind of size you're looking for. Once I've got these, I'll do another couple. It is good stuff, Luke. You got to love the fact that just from not far from my house, we didn't go in that direction when me and Mark went out. But there's a screw fix and a tool station. So when they opened up a new industrial estate, and it was like, if you're an hobbyist or you like tools and doing hobby DIY stuff like that, it was like Christmas. I was down there nearly every other bloody day getting something else and bits and bobs. Especially when you're doing our hobby, you start with your basic files and sandpaper and glues and brushes, and then you start investing in things like Dremels and stuff like that. Michael saying yes, it is worth it. It is worth the investment. There you go. That's 3 of us that have committed to this setup. Although we've talked about increasing size-wise the printer itself, but it does a fantastic job. I can't argue with it. IT it's for business. If for business, you need a print file. Mick's saying, "See you Friday, lads." No problem, buddy. Thanks for popping by. It's good to see you, Mick. Take care, my friend. Yeah, it is worth. If I could do it for a living, I mean, the thing is, it's not just having the print farm; it's hitting on that right product. You're not. If you were a 3D version of Steve Flowers, for argument's sake, then you might start making a few quid. But I don't know where licenses falls into it. I wouldn't want Mattel knocking on my door saying, "Hello, Mr. Jones, you've seem to have been selling these models on eBay." I think you've got to kind of differentiate. You can't call them what they are. So you could say something like, "This is a skip for a very small car that might just happen to represent something looking like possibly a Matchbox vehicle." You know, it's got to be pretty vague to get away with it. There you go. So yeah, I love it. It's been printing all day today. I was not happy when. As Mark will tell you, I was not happy when it failed to print the skip. And there's no reason why it should fail, because one's printed fine and one's got a dodgy corner. So go figure, I don't know. Luke, any ideas? I'm more than willing to listen. Luke saying I'll be selling some wheels on eBay soon. Good luck to you, mate. Knowing what I know now, it's worth having resin and PLA 3D printer on 3D printers. Possibly so, yeah. With the PLA printer, which is the lesser of the two, as far as I'm concerned, it's good for doing accessories, hard stuff that less detailed. But my only problem with it is getting the bloody bed level. I still could not get. I don't know what's going on with that PLA printer. I still could not get the models to stick to the bed. So I'm not going to. I'll have another go at it sometime soon. But I'm not going to spend more money on replacement beds and stuff like that. I'd rather have a second 3D, a second resin printer. Wow. Because once you've got a washer, so really, I could invest in another. See, I'm talking myself into it now. It's dangerous to do. I'd like the bigger brother version of the Photon 2 that I've got. Try the Yorkshire version. By Gumby. You'll get us all shot, Mr. Holly. By Gumby. Yeah, I like it. So you not only have you got to have the 3D farm, you've got to have the product that you're going to sell. It's got to be something. Get it brought. It's got to be something that's going to sell, and lots of. Not everybody's after, believe it or not, the niche market of replacement bumpers, doors, canopies, that kind of thing. But if you could manufacture a wide range of parts, yeah, why not? Get it brought. I'm itching. I'd like to get the PLA printer working to be able to print off the parts for the scanner that Michael's got. So if I can get it working consistently, I may have a go at that, because you can download the files for free, I believe. What we're talking about is there's a couple of ways that you can do 3D printing. One is you can have a predetermined pattern that you can download, or you can get a model. I'm just going to use this as an object. So you can get an object. You can put it on a pedestal, and you can have a camera that's on an arc, and the camera will go round and up and down and all over the place, and take hundreds of printers and hundreds of photos, combine them all together, and you can create your own STL file. Michael saying, yes, you can. The Open Scan Mini is what I'm talking about. Michael's here just to fill in the blanks where my Scotch won't let me. I'm off now. May pop into the tavern on Friday night. All right, my friend. Take care, Kev. Thanks for popping by, mate. It's much appreciated. Have a good week, mate. I think I was asking, can you download the files for the 3D scanner for free? And Michael saying, yes, you can. It's for what's called the Open Scan Mini. That is kind of the end of the process. That completes the process, really. If you wanted to create your own files. So going back to the fact that if you want to sell a bunch of products, you need to be able to either A, have some CAD experience, which is graphic design software for being able to draw out these images, or take these hundreds of photos and create an STL file that way. So 2 ways of doing it. I have had some experience with CAD to do some replacement parts, but it's a long drawn out procedure. Depends what your commitment is to it. I mean, I'm just doing it for fun, for an hobby. Like, if somebody offered me a job doing 3D printing, get in there. So there you go. Any other questions? Anything else? I'm gonna just made this an hour, so that was good. Good to get back on board. As I say, next time I do this, I'm going to go through. I've got a box behind me. I didn't show you this one. This one that I picked up, or a couple that I picked up from Stafford. A couple more books. Edgar Rice Burroughs' Tarzan, which is that goes to show my age. I'm not as old as Edgar Rice Burroughs, but these kind of there's even a crossword that somebody's filled in it. So yeah, that was another one, and a UFO Space 1999 book, which falls into my Jerry Anderson love of collecting. Published by Box Tree. There you go. So there, yes. My thanks to the guys for Dagfields and Stafford. Thanks to Martin for turning up. We had, as he says in his video, thanks for the shout out on behalf of all of us, Martin, that went there in your video today. Cracking video, mate. You're going to have to get an extension built onto your house soon. Thanks for the shout out. Always a pleasure if we can help each other out, as you say. So there you go. This is going to be me saying thank you. Thank you for coming along. We've made this an hour. Look at that. That was some good typing, isn't it? Welcome to M.L.M. Thanks for watching. There you go. Hello, goodbye, and welcome. So we'll be back in. I'll be back in a fortnight with what I think is going to be an Ian Ulley special. And if I can, I'm going to drop this on him like a ton of bricks. I'll try and get Ian Ulley online with us. So that'd be good, wouldn't it? Yeah, that scared him to death now. He's not going to love me for it, but if Ian wants to come online, we'll get Ian on the M.L.M. channel, and we'll go through the collection of material that he sent to me, and Ian can give you a first-hand account of what the stuff is. Night, evening, well done. Night, evening, well done. PJ, great life. Always a pleasure, mate. I hope things will keep on pressing to to get your subscribers back up. It's a kick in the teeth, that is, when you lose your YouTube channel. I'd be screaming. But I think that sometimes it's nice to have a fresh start, and the lad's got his head down, and he's going to guns again. So good stuff, Luke. Mark, cheers, Paul. See you all down the pub Friday. Absolutely. Right, this is me signing off, and I'll see you soon.